Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Conversations with Kevin and Andrew. Today I've got Andrew, my partner here on the call again. Andrew, what's up, man? How's 2026 going so far?
Kevin, I'm super excited. We have 10 clients that are ready to buy this quarter. Why do you think that is?
Great question. So I think a lot of people are starting to realize that if they want to plan on making a move and they've been thinking about it for 1, 2, 3 years, the reality is that rates are starting to soften a little bit, but that's not the main reason people are getting off the sidelines. I think they've waited long enough to understand that our market, number one, isn't crashing. And number two, the interest rates are what they are. And if they're selling a home, they likely have a lot of equity they can move into their next purchase. And there are different opportunities to get into a property that is still financially reasonable. And so a lot of these folks are just ready to take action. We've had a lot of people that we've been talking to for 6 months and have been having those conversations, browsing, looking at properties. And all of a sudden, it seems like simultaneously, they're all getting off the sidelines.
Hey, Kevin, what do you think is one thing that's getting folks off the sidelines to go out and buy?
I think right now, some of the media information that's in the news, Trump announced this $200 billion reserve that is going to be used to purchase mortgage-backed securities. And what happens when there's more capital that is buying mortgage-backed securities, there is a lower yield being offered to those investors. And so what that means, a lower yield, means a lower interest rate. Now, $200 billion may seem like a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things of the United States of America and mortgage-backed securities, it's not a ton of money. And with that being said, it will impact the rates a little bit, even just with the sentiment and the news cycle. Like that 200 billion is still on the sidelines. It hasn't even gone in. And with that, yesterday we were about 6.25, and today, January 9th, they're advertising about a 5.99. And that would be a rate that is kind of par if you have 20% down, 800 credit score, and kind of like an ideal borrower profile. That would be like the standard rate that you get without a buy down. And so moral of the story is that the media and the news cycle is helping us in terms of helping people feel more comfortable moving forward. Additionally, there are a lot of things that this administration is doing to sound like rates are going to drop. Like Trump is a real estate guy, like him or not. Doesn't matter. That's the president and the administration that we have to deal with right now. So he's a real estate guy and he is a pro low interest rate guy. Obviously, low interest rates contribute to the inflation issue. However, with that being said, I do believe mortgage rates will be a little bit softer this year than they were last year, meaning more people are going to get off the sidelines, just more buyers are going to be finally taking action. And then sellers that have been sitting there with their 3% mortgage are actually going to say, you know what? This house is too big for us. This house is too small for us. Ready to just take action. That should release some additional inventory into the market. But with that inventory coming up, that will also be another buyer in the market. So that's not going to spike our inventory and decrease demand. We're just going to see an increase in total transactions, more inventory, more buyers. And I believe, I'm pretty optimistic, it will be a pretty productive and busy year in the real estate market. And a lot of folks are going to make that transition. So if you're a buyer out there and you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I've been on the sidelines long enough. I really need to get more clear and understand what this looks like for my direct scenario. Just book a call with us. Click the button, schedule a consultation, pop into my calendar. We can have a 15-minute conversation just to kind of talk shop, analyze your options and your situation. And Andrew and I would love to serve you accomplishing those goals for home ownership in 2026.